Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Chandler First-Time Buyer 30 Days Fast Track Workshop. This webinar is dedicated to you to help you understand the entire process of home buying process, and especially I'm going to give you some tip and tricks and some template that can help you in the home buying process as well. Well, first of all, I would like to say the reason why I can talk about this topic, right? My name is Longley. I am a real estate agent here local in Chandler, Gilbert, Tempe area, right? I have been helping more than hundreds of home buyers across the Phoenix, Arizona, and with like 5-star reviews rate in Google. Check it out, okay? Search for my name and you will see plenty of good information there. Top number one agent in the region. So I believe I have a good information that I'm going to give to you. And especially if you are first-time home buyer and if you are a business owner, this workshop is basically just for you, because you know why? I'm going to show you some tips that you can actually buy one and get the second house for free, right? But first of all, I would like to congratulate you with the business work schedule. I know your time is valuable and you must be very busy with your work, your family, your life, right? And even your plan for the weekend, right? Because obviously, as a business owner, you may not have a lot of time for break. So you might have some vacation plan this weekend. So I wanted to start the presentation by saying the congratulate to you for taking your time to and overcome the fear of making mistakes to attend this webinar to learn about the complicated of the home buying process. Okay, so honestly, I myself made many mistakes when I purchased my first home in 2016. Okay, back then, after my graduations, all I cared about was to have a house. Right, this is my personal story, and this is, think about you, like right now thinking about buying the first time. I was there buying my first house. All I did was to see houses without any plan, without any knowledge, or without any information about the home buying process. That actually mistake number one. And that is a start, right? A lot of people think scared about making mistake. A lot of people worry, what if I don't know about a mistake, right? That actually I have my mistake as well. That actually my mistake number one. Little that I know, that was almost costing me a big problem. Why? His story next. Okay. So we set the price. At least we have some price, right? For the first home of 250,000. But the reason is why? Why is 250,000? How do I know that the number is a good number? Mistake number two, right? We don't know. All right. So luckily, we have set some locations and some criteria about the bedroom size, etc. Some basic information, because at least we know how many people will live with us, so we know how big of the house that should be, right? Um, so it was helpful for my realtor back then to help at least finding some house for me. Okay, so we went from several hours, several houses that were resale by owner, and uh, none of them seemed to be a good fit for us. My fiance back then, my wife now, was looking at the house together. So none of them is a good fit for us. So after several weeks searching, we actually heard of the new concept. It's called brand new house. You might think it's silly, long. Why don't you know about why don't you know any information about that? Okay, because obviously I didn't know much information back then. Uh-huh. And for that reason, I don't know. Okay. So after I heard of that idea, I started search primarily, mainly focused only for the brand new house, because my wife, after the first brand new community, she felt in love with that 100% and never want to go back with the resale home. Not saying that resale home is bad, right? We just personal reference. So one day we came to the community in Gilbert, and here's mistake number three. Okay, because one of the criteria, the only thing that I know is location, right? And And that time, location is important to us because I want to set the house so that it's only 30 minutes away from my workplace. Gilbert is not that. I work in North Phoenix back then. And because of the emotion, and I fell in love so much with this community, okay, I actually like it so much. When we walk into the house, when we drive into the neighborhood is so much different. Okay, this have a lot of green, a lot of grass, and the tree lines is big. Would have a lot of shade. That cause us um, to fall in love with the community, and we decide to sign a contract right away tomorrow morning. That's mistake number four, and that is actually one of the biggest mistakes. Why? Okay, we didn't do any research. We violate, number one, we violate the location criteria, the most location criteria for us, okay? And I didn't do a lot of research about the community neither. So lucky for us that night, and here's the reason why research a community is important. Lucky for us that night, okay? We share with our parents about the community, and they actually, okay, then they want to see the house with us, see the community with us. Okay, so we take them out to the location, proudly say, hey, this is the one that I picked, right? Little that I know, when we came to the community, there's a strong smell that none of us can stand it. None of us can stand it. And we have to cancel because my wife, my fiance back then, absolutely say no to that. All right. So lucky that we didn't go too much into the situation and cannot get out. Okay. We are able to cancel the appointment and not costing us so much money. But you know what? Mistake is happening every time in every could happen every time in every transaction. In fact, 32% of the people for the first time home buyer having some problem with saving for the down payment. 36% of the people having problem with understanding the process and know how to do what to do in which step. 53% of the people has mistake when finding the right house. Okay, so this is a survey from the National Association of Realtors in 2024. So it's very recent, and obviously you see many mistakes that a buyer could encounter during a home buying process, and I cannot say everything here as such. Okay, I think the reason why is that because it's a misprioritization in the process. They don't know what to prioritize first. They don't know what to prioritize second. They don't know what to need to do. Okay, should I do the pre-qualification stuff first? Should I go see houses first? Should I talk to someone first? Who do I talk to? There's a lot of things going on when you start home buying process. And as a result, and with the busy life of the business owner, you cannot prioritize, you cannot align what is the step, what is the system that you should follow. Okay? Lucky for you, I have the solution today. And that is the decision, that is the solution to make the decision. Okay? Because here's the thing, even for me today, after buying and selling hundreds of homes, okay, for myself and for my clients, right? I can still make mistake. Okay? If you don't have the right prioritization. Okay? So the decision, the making the right decision is important. So you may ask, okay, what is the decision that I should make? Well, you should make the decision based on your non-negotiables. Period. We're done with the webinar today. Congratulations, you're good at it. Well, I'm just kidding. The follow-up question is, okay, what are some non-negotiables? What are some things that I cannot say no? I have to follow. Okay, so lucky, here is the seventh step This is exactly based on my experience. This is exactly the process, the 7 non-negotiable decisions to help you buy the first house, buy one house, and get the second one for free. And here it is. We're talking about the decision of the finance, of the housing, of the offer, of the contract, right? For financing, what do we need to do? How much we need to save up for the down payment? Should we save for the down payment first, or should we do something else? Okay. For housing, what are some must criteria? What should we focus on? What kind of process that we should do to find the right house for you? Next one is the decision about making offer. How many offers should we make? How can we make an offer so that we can win even in the multiple offer situation? And best, okay, still have the best deal. What are some contract process? We are under contract already. We win the offer. So what should we do next? Inspection, appraisal, loan application. How do we do that? Okay. Now, after we do what step one, two, three, and four, we basically done with the step with the one house, with the first house. Okay. And the five, six, and seven teach you exactly the process on how to use your house, build your wealth engine. Okay, based on your house, get some extra income, and take advantage of the equity and build a second house for free. This is exactly the exact process that I've been doing to buy the next house for me. Okay, buy one house, get the equity, and then use the equity to buy the second house for free. The tenant's going to pay for it. But for today's episode, because we don't have a lot of time, I am limited to talk to you only the first two. And I think those are the first two important foundation for you in terms of getting you into real estate world. Okay. That is the decision about financing and the decision about finding the right house. However, though, if you are interested in learning more about the process as well as getting into much deep dive information, I have the buyer's most asked question here that giving you all the information in much more detail. So if you're interested, feel free to scan the information here. I have the top most asked questions from the buyer as well as the buyer guide that I put all in the information together, and you can have it for free because you're attending this webinar. Okay, so those are the two gifts that I have for you. With that, let's dive right into the decision number one about stack your saving. Okay, and I use the word because I think that is very important for you to understand. Saving is very important. Okay, in not just like you go buy a house, that's it, right? Stacking the saving. You should start. You don't need a fortune to start. Okay, a lot of people think that you need like hundreds of thousands of dollars to start. You just need a financial plan and the discipline to start. Okay. When I attended college, I don't know. Well, when I went to the US, I took the class at MTC and ASU. A lot of professors sent out a syllabus. Okay. That's document that I never look at. Okay. Okay, I look at a couple of first classes, but then never I look at that again because I think I don't need it. Now that I graduate, I think that I know the syllabus is actually the plan the professor prepared for us to follow to finish the class. And because it has all the detail, okay, about how to get graduated, how to pass the class, right? So similarly, the financial plan is very important because it guides you through the step by step on how to get a strong financial foundation. Okay, so here it is. Number one, you have to understand your income situation. Before you even go buy any houses, you must know what kind of income that I have. Well, you like total income. That's it. If you have two people, well, what's the total income of the two? Well, some of you say, okay, Long, that's good for you if you have a stable income. What if I don't have the stable income? What if I have a 1099 income? What if I'm a self-employed? Most of you are self-employed. I understand that. Well, the best way that you do is to do average of 12 months, the last 12 months. Okay. And then use that number as the monthly income for your family. The next step that you actually have to do is to gather all the expense, right? You know what you come in and you know what you come out. Okay. So those are the two, like every single thing that you have to spend. Probably you don't have the housing right now, but you do have rent, right? Gas, how much gas you need, how much insurance you need, how much eat out that you need, how much shopping that you need, how much student loan that you have, okay? How much that you have to spend for your business, everything, all the detail, all the spending that you need to spend during the months, okay? Next one, you have to categorize them into categories and find a sum number. Okay. For example, like let's say entertainment for eat out and shopping, things like that. Okay. Vacation plan. So you have to group them into expense, and then we make a budget. You have to create the budget, okay, before you even start anything, because having the budget is very important, because it's actually giving you the sense of control. As a business owner, you might already have the budgets for the business, but surprisingly not a lot of people has a budget for the family. Okay, I think family in some way is a business. Running a family is running a business, right? You have income, you have expense. So if you can control the business, the budget, right, you can actually have a very strong financial machine running in your family. Okay, you make sure that you run the monthly, and the next goal to do what? The next goal is to save 1,000. A lot of people ask, why 1,000 Long? What is that number relating to? Well, the 1,000 is a good start number, so that it's not too much for you to take forever to done, but it's giving you some momentum. Most of you don't have the 1,000, and this is going to be a very good goal. Some of you may ask, what if I already have 1,000? Well, then skip it. Well, you already have, great, but you still have to define the income, the expense, and create the budget for you, okay, before you check the box, okay. So if you already have 1,000, you can go to next. Oh, wait, I'm running ahead of my slide. But 1,000, right? Down payment. You need to save 5% toward the down payment. Some of you may ask, how much is the 5%? How much down payment do I need, right? So a lot of people think 0%, 3, then 3.5. I know 10%, right? But here's the thing: you only need 10%. Okay. Of course, the higher the payment you have, the better the loan. Okay. The better the loan, right, including the interest rate and the payment. Okay. The higher the down payment, the better financial condition as well. It's easier for you to get the loan. Okay. And pro tip number 3, check with your loan officer to see if your fund is usable for real estate. Sometimes if you deposit a large amount of money into the bank, you may not be able to use that fund as well. So double check. Don't think that you have that already. Okay. So the 5% is only you need. Okay. And when you have that, you are ready to get the pre-approval letter. Why do you need to get the pre-approval? Okay, the benefit is, well, number one, like important of the budget, right? I told you to find the budget. Now when you have uh the uh, the pre-approval, you know how much it costs you on a monthly basis. They give you the estimate of your monthly payment, and when you can compare with the rental with the current situation. You can check with your current budget to see whether it's a good fit for you, whether buying a house is a good decision or not, or maybe you have to put down more to lower the monthly mortgage, right? So that's the reason why having the pre-approval is important. Next, time. You're basically saving a lot of time when you have a pre-approval, because you don't want to waste finding a house that over your budget, or maybe below the budget, below what you can qualify for. Okay, so saving time in terms of that. And next one is cash. Okay, having a pre-approval giving you more confidence in terms of making looking for houses and making an offer. Because here's the thing: if you don't have the pre-approval, you don't know whether your loan is done or not. Okay, and that could means you risk the deposit. We'll talk about more of that during the offer process, but just for now, it's protecting your money. Okay, confidence, and of course some leverage in terms of negotiation with the seller as well. For those buyers that do not have um, the pre-approval, then they don't have the leverage because they have to wait to get the pre-approval to be able to make an offer. So having that ready help you uh, well, one step ahead. Okay. Um, Now there's a couple of different information about pre-qualification process versus pre-approval. Okay. Um, for the pre-qualification, you only tell them what you have, okay, without any documentation. Okay, pre-approval, you have to provide official documentation like a pay stub, like an ID, and you have to start the loan application as well. Or you may ask, why taking a lot of time like that to do that? Well, it's helpful for you to, again, like I said, if you don't if you don't if you don't provide those information, there's no way that the lender can be for sure giving you a yes or a no. Right? They can still based on your word, but that's not 100%, right? And it again wasting time and wasting a lot of money. The pre-qualification, they only do the soft credit check. Okay. Pre-approval, they're gonna do some soft credit check or hard credit check. Okay. When they do hard credit check, of course your credit gonna be reduced. However, it's gonna give the lender a more better full pictures to basically giving you a better understanding of whether you how much debt you have. Some people only like they pay credit card very well, right? They pay all the debt very well, but they do have a medical bill that is very late that they are not aware of, maybe only $20. That's why never a lot of people don't aware. But when you do a hard credit check, you will be able to find out that information. Okay. So what credit score do I need? 580, 680, 700. There's a lot of difference, right? And depend on the short answer is depend on the loan program that you follow, that you want. Okay. If you want a conventional, you probably need a higher credit score. If you do FHA, you can be with a lower credit score. Okay. So at that time, that's the reason why we need to talk about pre-approval at the beginning so that you can select the right loan program for you. You don't want to rush, okay? You don't want to do everything all at once, and then all of a sudden you have the house to make an offer, and you have to do the inspection, you have to do the appraisal, and then you don't have the time to think about the loan program. Talking to the loan officer up front, getting the pre-approval is very important so that you know exactly what you need to pay and what kind of program that's better for you. Okay, so here again, this is the 6 steps to get you become financially responsible. Okay, and secure your starter saving. Okay, well, number two, the decision number two is to buy your first house as your primary residence. Okay, I highly recommend if you haven't buy a house. Okay, and even if you even if you buy your first house, even if you want to invest in real estate, okay, sorry, I lose my train of thought here. I still highly recommend you to buy your first house first because you don't have any experience with buying a house. And if you put them together, buying a house and then investing is too much complicated. I think we should separate them out. Buy the first house first so that you understand the process and use that house as a primary home, as a base for you to build your wealth engine. Then later on, we're gonna use this house. I'm gonna show you in the step later to to buy the second house with as a real estate purpose. Okay, but buy your first house first. Okay, your house is not just a dream; it's actually a wealth engine. Okay, talking about a wealth engine. Okay, my personal story. My first house that I bought in Glendale, right? Yeah, had I bought the one in Gilbert, it was a mistake already. But the one that I bought in Glendale is amazing, amazing. Because when I bought my second house, I actually use oh well before let's step back a little bit because I have 5 bedrooms in it. Okay, so when we bought our first house, our family saved together about 1,800 because, well, first of all, originally my mom me my mom and I live in a mobile home that cost us about 600 back then to rent the lot. We pay for the house, so we don't have to pay monthly payment for the house, but still have to pay for the lot. Okay, 600. And my girlfriend and her daughter, well, my girlfriend back then, and her, I'm sorry, not her daughter, her mom are living in an apartment for 1,200. So that's total of 1,800 that we save by not renting. Because here's the thing, someone think that paying the rent is saving. No, you're actually throwing money away, right? So that's the 1,800 that we save when we buy a house. Okay, it's a big house, 5 bedrooms and 3 baths, in a 3 different section of the house. We choose that for a reason. Okay, 3 different section. So fast moving forward a couple of years, my mom moved out, and then we have an extra room. So we decided to do Airbnb on that room. So we are renting about $50 a night, and because we're close to State Farm Stadium, there's a lot of events and conference and attract of people. It was a good Airbnb. It is a good amount of income for us to income for us. Okay, and then we doing that for about 2 years. So every month, right, we have some extra money to pay for the mortgage, and we decide 2 years later we bought. We decided to move back to Chandler where we were, and at this time the best part of this is the house that I bought in Glendale. The equity grows so much that when we withdraw, we can actually not just buy one house but 2 houses using that down payment. So that's the reason why I want to tell you the first house isn't just a dream, but at least it solved the problem at the time. Well, for us to find the place, right? And then we'll talk about the wealth engine in a later step. Okay, so here how to choose the right house, because we didn't choose the house with 5 bedrooms random. That is actually one of the criteria. Okay, so talking about criteria, we have to get clear about the housing criteria. And in this concept we talk about must have versus nice to have. A lot of you confusing about what is the must have and what is the nice to have criteria for the house. Must have is something essential. Okay, must provide basic need for the family, and nice to have is something desirable, something that you okay nice to have. For example, the must have for us is 5 bedrooms because uh, both of our moms live with us, so that's two already. I need an office at home and a bedroom and a guest bedroom, so that's total of 5. That's the reason why it's a must have. Okay, maybe it's a little bit too much. Okay, maybe must is 4 bedrooms, and then maybe the 5th bedroom is nice to have. Now that I'm looking at it, okay, the other nice to have also things like a pool. Okay, is it a must or is it a nice to have? If it is a nice to have, then if they're definitely looking at the house without a pool and with the pool, right? If it is the must, then don't look at the house without a pool, right? So depend on the situation, you have to set that up front. I might strongly advise is to talk to a real estate agent about this. And remember, after when you are at here, you already know what kind of budget that you can have for the house, right? So based on the must have and nice to have that the conversation going on, suggestion from the real estate agent, you will be able to come up with a list that you know good for you. Okay. So the next step after you have the clear criteria, you must check out houses on the daily basis. Don't let it slide because I know that you are busy. I know you must have customer. I know that you have your job as well. And I know family and things like that more and more like come into the place as well. So make a commitment, maybe 10 to 5 minutes to look at the email, to look at the notification. Don't have to go see houses in person every day, but at least do something, checking listing online every day so that you know you're familiar with the products and you know whether you can find a place or not. Okay. Uh, Next, important on the weekly basis, you have to do a walkthrough. Set a time, a dedicated time with your real estate agent. Okay, that's what I do. What date that you are always break? What time that you can always go? See one house or two houses, doesn't matter. If you have the full list, great, do that. If you only have one, go. Okay, because after the daily looking at houses online, right? You must confirm the information in person. Uh, and for that reason, a weekly review is important for you to know. Okay, sometimes the pictures only, doesn't say the full picture, doesn't tell the full pictures. Okay, monthly, decide to make at least one offer. Okay, have a conversation about making offer with the agent every 30 days. If something is not right, okay, giving them feedback. Okay, if something is not right, if you cannot make any offer within 30 days, there may be something wrong. There may be some like expectation not meeting there. Okay, so definitely discuss, ask question, and find in the process and make the commitments to buy the house. Because here's the thing, this is the framework that pushing everyone moving forward. Because I know I'm not pushy, okay? I'm not saying that you have to select the wrong house that you don't like. But if you keep forgetting about looking at houses, if you let everything else into the place, then you may not be never be able to get the house. So that's the reason why I highly recommend us to push forward and follow this framework and select the right house for you. Okay, so for your exercise today, go home and decide on the non-negotiable housing criteria if you're already done with step number one. Okay, so here it is. Here's the full two, and I'm sure if you follow these two, okay. So those of you who are looking for houses but not getting pre-approval yet, do not have the budget in place yet, well, definitely come back to step number one. Work on that, okay. And number two, if you already have the budget, if you already have the pre-approval, then definitely look at your must-have criteria list. Follow the suggestion in terms of looking for houses, okay, and make an offer. I'm sure with that approach, you will be able to reach your goal within 30 days in terms of housing. If you are interested in learning the rest of the framework for the seven non-negotiables to buy one house and get the second one for free, feel free to schedule a meeting with me privately so that we can talk. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to talk about that in today's episode, but more than happy to schedule a time with you. And don't forget, you do have the two free guide, right? The buyer guide and the buyer most asked question uh, to download as well. If you do have any question, here's a story to close. Okay, I just closed the most difficult transaction in my agent history. Okay, this buyer has been searching for 4 years, more than 4 years, with multiple agents, and they cannot close the deal. They cannot. But I just closed today. So congratulate on them. Congratulate for them. And I'm very happy for them. Now, I came in as the last agent that, was able to help them close the transaction. I'm proud of that. But I do have some hiccup during the transaction as well. Okay. A lot of question, a lot of confusion, and a lot of unclear. So, by following exact framework that I provide, it helps them feel more confident, feel more prioritized, okay, more organized, and they were able to close today. And the best part, the deal that I closed for them, 5,000 more than asking. Well, I'm sorry, not they not paying 5,000 more than asking. They actually like less, like we renegotiate 20,000 off the market, off the asking, okay, and the appraised value is actually more than the money that we come into the table. We ask for inspection, we ask for the items to be taken care, we ask for 24,000 in repair, and the seller willing to do so. They also have 9,000 in seller cost concession for that house. So I'm very happy for them at the end of the day because of this framework of buyer who spent, I think, with at least 6 or 7 realtors, and they finally bought the home today. Okay, so I'm looking forward. I mean, final point, your wealth, and this is definitely the your wealth engine is built one small decision at a time. And I'm not sure about the other 3 years that they spend, but this one we do one by one. Okay, we reorganize the financing. We talk to the lender. The lender is great, by the way, in this transaction. We reorganize the lending situation, come up with the budget, and we stick to that. Even though sometimes he wants to like go higher, but no, we don't do that because it's a waste of time. We only know that he only qualified for this number. We stick to that. Okay. uh, and then looking at houses every single week, that's good, right? He's busy with work, he has a baby coming up as well, but he also committed to look at houses every week, and that's exactly the reason why we were able to find a house for him. All right. That is all I have. And I appreciate you attend the meeting. Like I said, if you do have any question about this webinar or you want to schedule a private meeting with me, feel free to text the word info to 480-480-7948. And I'm more than happy to share a meeting with you. Thank you and have a great night.